You join me here in Surrey. We're on our own ultimate Mini adventure. It's the Mini World Show, a 45th birthday party for the Mini, and they're celebrating in a thoroughly British fashion.
The little car's appeal is massive. People from all walks of life give up their weekends to turn a visit to a car park into a nice day out. But could the ultimate Mini really be lurking around here? Well, you can be sure the Mini's personality will always shine through. Although modifying the new Mini is the growth scene, we're most interested in the classics, like Dom Westall's replica of the wicker-look car Peter Sellers owned and Inspector Clouseau drove. But the ultimate Mini needs more than a celeb connection and a hidden TV. So could Kevin Palmer's home-hacked 1980 Mayfair be a candidate? He's shortened it by 4 feet, and thanks to nitrous oxide, he can pull wheelies.
What's it like at full chat on nitrous, steaming along in a shortened Mini?
I would fully recommend steel underpants.
I mean, where do you use this car?
I'm really lucky because I've got a testing ground alongside me called Blue Water Park.
What, that shopping centre with all women and children everywhere?
Yeah.
A famous proving ground?
And they've got 2 lanes, and you need 2 lanes when you hit the nitrous.
Well, of course you do, yeah.
So I tried it out, actually, Sunday, just gone, and the way it went, it just took off.
And what happened to the needle? Whereabouts did it go?
Off the speedo.
You've just admitted to a very serious driving crime on television.
It could be that the speedo's out. It could be out of calibration, but it did go off the end. Maybe it's a rev counter instead.
Yeah, right. Our search for the ultimate Mini takes us from the short to something a little longer. Mini pickups are becoming quite rare and collectible, but Joe Glass's is unique thanks to rear hinge doors and hydraulic suspension.
How much did it cost?
Well, you could buy every model of Porsche for what it costs to build. You can buy a 924, a 944, a 911, a 968, a Boxster, and tax and insure them all for what this cost.
So tens of thousands of pounds?
Yeah.
Are you a stockbroker?
No, I'm an electrician. You could actually get a system like this fitted for your car for about £2,000 upwards, but it wouldn't move as fast as this. It'd just make you go up and down. Mine does everything.
Does it do this when you're going along?
It does if there's no policeman about.
Does that attract members of the opposite sex?
Well, if this car was actually a person, it'd be Hugh Hefner. I mean, it'd have a better sex life than I've ever had.
That good?
It's that good.
You know what? The huge effort people go to make their Mini unique is equalled by just one thing: the universal affection we give them in return.
There's no doubt about it. All this would have brought a tear to Isagonis's eye. But I've just heard that the ultimate Mini hasn't actually made it down to Surrey. It's in Huddersfield.
The recipe is simple. Rip out the back and fill it with the 1300cc engine from a Suzuki Hayabusa. Then turbocharge it and get a chain to drive the rear wheels.
The result? 400 horsepower, like a Ferrari 360. 0 to 60? 3.4 seconds, like a McLaren F1.
Driving it is intense. It costs £25,000 to build, but in truth, it's still a work in progress. So it may be the fastest Mini in the world, but it's not quite the ultimate yet. The search continues.
And the trail has brought us to Mansell Lacey near Hereford. It's playing host to that very British phenomenon, entry-level motorsport.
This is auto testing, an extreme test of a person's skill at the wheel. Basically, the idea is to go left and right, in and out, round and round, as quickly as is humanly possible.
This is the first round of the British Championship. It's where Colin McRae started out, but it's a sport for any age, sex or ability. We're here to see 22-year-old Paul Swift. His dad is precision driver Russ Swift, and I reckon his weapon of choice is the most manoeuvrable Mini in the world, and it gets my vote for being the ultimate. It was the car his mum learnt to drive in, and the car his dad won the Autotest Championship with 20 years ago. Paul has subsequently turned it from an £800 banger into a £6,000 special. There's no roof or boot, because the key to flickability is lightness.
All of the heavy pieces of the car we try and replace with lighter components. The front end now is carbon fibre, and we've drilled a lot of holes without weakening it too much, just to get as much weight out of the car as possible.
What have you actually done to the engine?
It's been specially built for low down torque. Top end speed isn't that important in auto testing, so you want to get from point to point as fast as you can. So it's a bigger bore engine, and it's all about grunt. And the gearbox is basically a 2-speed box, first, second, and then you've got the reverse gear as well, so you don't hit fourth instead of reverse.
Honing the car to perfection isn't the be-all and end-all, though. The best drivers make their motor flow like water. You need absolutely exquisite control and a precise idea of exactly where you're going.
I've got here a map of the course, but just look at it. It's absolutely mind-boggling. You'll see some of the drivers getting on the start line, shutting their eyes and visualising their way around all the twists and turns. Thing is, one would be bad enough. Today, they have 5 to remember. It's an amazing feat of mental acuity.
So, obviously, I had to rise to the challenge. It couldn't be that hard.
Not reverse! Oh, that's good pride and joy. Backwards! 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 Oh no, he's got a penalty. 5. Might need a bit more practice, I think. Potential.
Obviously, I wasn't going to be vying with Paul for first place just yet. That job was left to British champ Dave Mosey, who also drives a Mini Special. His fluid style was a joy to behold and was really setting the pace. What's more, he managed to complete all of his runs before the torrential rain came. Frankly, with one run left to do, Paul had no chance. But then he did a funny thing. Rather than just visualising the route, he actually ran round it. It came down to one man and his machine. You could have cut the tension with a knife. Paul really pulled out all the stops, and amazingly, despite the horrendous conditions, he was actually 2 seconds quicker in the wet than in the dry. His secrets? Well, overinflated tyres make the car easier to chuck, and by locking the wheels under braking, you can go quickly from first to reverse without stripping any gears. Unbelievably, Paul won! Hooray! But join us later, when we might have found an even more ultimate Mini.
It's the final leg of our hunt for the ultimate Mini, and if you ask me, the answer's obvious.
Here we go!
Top 5 Minis: Minestrone, Mini Mouse, Mini Eggs, Mini Skirt, Mini Cooper. Nothing beats those original cars created by John Cooper, and it's the 40th anniversary of Paddy Hopkirk conquering bonnet-high snowdrifts to win the Monte Carlo Rally in a Cooper S. But if you think that sort of credibility should be consigned to the history books, then this man may change your mind.
Hello, Fifth Gear. Welcome to my crib.
Brandon Wang is one of the most eminent car collectors in the world. He's indulged his passion with a multi-million-pound set of cars. The rarer, the better. And in this stable of prancing horses is an ex-Paddy Hopkirk Mini Cooper S. Surely the ultimate Mini.
To me, they are, even in today's standard, a fantastic driving car, both on the track and on the road. And my everyday car in London is a Mini. I had always wanted to do the Monte Carlo Rally, the historic one, of course, you know, because we read about the real one in the 60s, how the Mini slaughtered all the big 911s and so forth. So about 2 years ago, when I learned about they rerunning the Monte Carlo Rally, so I would say maybe I should find a little Mini to do it, and brought it to Monte Carlo, did the rally, and had a great time with it. And everything worked, which is amazing. Everything, all the switches, all the gauges, everything works in this car with a co-pilot. And I had to scream and yell at him, don't touch that, don't touch that, we're not there yet. You know, I had a co-pilot who like the fiddle with all those switches. When you think of Mini, you think about 5,000, 7,000 pounds, and the good ones are maybe 10. This is a lot more. And you got to times that 10 by 5-6 times really to get to it. But it is a very special car. I mean, I have no problem, you know, buying a car like that. It's just, you know, one-off that you probably had one chance in your lifetime to buy something like that.